it's like a lifestyle music, you know. Everything else seems like people are like, oh yeah, I like it for a week, I lose interest. But metal, you know, it's metal fans love it forever. There's, I guess I'm not a casual person. When I like something, it's like real, and it's not casual music. Like no one goes, yeah, I was really big into Slayer one summer. You know, there's no, like, I've never met that guy. I've only met the guy who's got Slayer carved across his chest.
No, man.
It's just the most brutal music there is, and it's what we play. And, you know, we're proud to play death metal, and we always say death metal. Even to people who have no clue about what it is, you know, most people go, oh, you're a heavy metal band. We're death metal, first and foremost. I mean, heavy metal is different. Death metal is part of the whole tree, but we play death metal.
You is your Christian background, and the juxtaposition with your music.
Catholic.
What place do your personal beliefs have in Slayer?
I can art, right? And it's art can be a reflection of society. You know what I mean? And we're picking up the dark reflections. You know, and that's what we're reflecting. But evil's everywhere, man. Everybody's got it. It sits really deep in everybody. Some people can't control it as much as others, but I think it's there. Regardless of whatever fucking religion you believe in, whatever, everybody knows that there's wrong things. They're just things you do not do. And the people that don't understand that or don't believe that, then they're not really connected with themselves spiritually. It doesn't matter what the fuck you believe.
There's a lot of people that say, you know, that metal music, you know, makes people violent, that it's shocking, and that it's a bad thing.
I'll be 83 in September, and I don't think anything would shock me. I brought my knitting just in case I can't stand it.
Rob, being a great drummer, had this thing about, well, instead of playing a single bass drum, let's try double bass drum, and then instead of playing full chords, drums do it, you start chugging along with the drums, and then before you know it, you're going diggy 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 diggy, and to go with the bass drums. And this was.
And you were one of the first ones to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd been 16, 17, but I mean, the world didn't know that I existed way back then. But it was just part of the way that we played. It was our interpretation of what Deep Purple was. When we heard Highway Star, we didn't hear it as ding 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 ding. Heard it as.
I never thought Mick Jagger was a great singer. I never thought Bob Dylan was a great singer. Matter of fact, I thought he was one of the worst singers I've ever heard in my fucking life. And multi-millions later, you know, he gets his point across, and you feel his emotion, and how you going to get around that, you know? Maybe that's better than the greatest singer in the world, is to be able to get your message through to someone else through the actual way you sing it. Guarantee he doesn't sit down all day and all night working his balls off over the coals trying to perfect some lyric. You know what I mean? If that's the case, if this is what it's come to in this day and age, why don't we all just sample our voices, our instruments, and our drums, and just put them in a fucking computer and type in the notes and fucking timing and everything that we want to play, and just let it do the work for us? What the fuck? You know, that's why those old records were so fucking great back in the day. It's because there's no way that you could go back and Pro Tool it, slice it, dice it, do this and fix that and fix that. All the imperfections were left there, but really they weren't imperfections.
Tell me about where you grew up and how you got into this music.
I grew up in a small village. I didn't have an outlet really, you know. I couldn't really get out because the village, there was a bus, I think going 3 times into the next bigger city, and I just couldn't get out, you know. I didn't have any friends really that time, and I think the first thing I heard was Hop's Angel of Death on the radio. I found that radio station. I didn't know it's metal. And my mum was Christian, so I can't really even tell her. My inner state, which I didn't show outside. Outside, I was always a strong person, and I had control about everything. I was good in school. I never really... I mean, I had some ups and downs, but I've never been a problem child to my parents. That is listening to... And that was Morbid Visions from Sepultura. There's like anti-Christian lyrics all over the place, and I just loved that. And then I started finding friends in that scene as well, real friends, you know, not the people at school who hang out with you as long as you're cool, and they just drop you as soon as you don't develop enough tits or whatever, you're not cool enough anymore, you don't drink and do drugs with them. I didn't smoke, I didn't drink. My outfit really upset my parents, obviously, you know. I had to left home with 17 because we just had fights all over the place. I was wearing a black leather jacket with tons of patches on the back. There was like a bloody Morbid Angel patch and all this bloody stuff of Death and Carcass and Napalm Death, whatever. And tight black jeans with big boots, you know, and chains. And I had big chains here and lots of rings. And I looked like a guy, basically. Like when you go on the festival, you meet lots of women nowadays who are in the band, and so it's not that boys' club anymore. And I think boys are happy about that as well, because I mean, I must have been a bit boring. I mean, like it's just guys, sweaty, ugly guys surrounding you. Nowadays, it's it's a couple of females. It kind of loosens us up, you know. I get a lot of mails from young girls saying, "Well, I saw you live, and that was just great to see that a woman can pull that off." And I just joined a band now, and I want to do that myself.
Is having kind of a tough persona on stage, is that important to you?
Yeah, because I am tough on stage. You know, I feel very strong on stage, and I want to give that to the people in front of that stage, that you can just have a lot of strength and power on stage, that you can just have a lot of strength and power, and just want to give it to these people, and they take a bit of that home.
You know, I think a lot of bands, when they first come out, it's kind of tough to even, you got to gauge where you're at, you know what I mean? It's hard to have that vision just completely 100% molded up in front, you know? Like we said, you know, we learned from all the people we looked up to, you know, till we finally got to that level where we said, hey man, this is us, this is how we're doing it, and we're the influencers on other people instead of being the influenced, you know? Also, we never ever bent for any of the trends that came through. I can think of a million interviews of people going, well, what do you think of this? Or when are y'all going to start doing that? Or bring a record scratcher in or whatever. It's like, you don't get it, bro, you know? It's fucking straight up a steel rod, fucking right down the center. Let all the bullshit twist circles around it. We'll always be sitting there strong, you know? Dude, there ain't no other form of music that gets my blood pumping. Ain't nothing drives my life anything more than fucking everything steel. Works better, man.
It's a way of life, like you said, man. The fans, they live it, they breathe it, they know it, they desire it, they give it when they come to the shows.